Hello, hello, hello. This is Pharaoh and welcome back to Halethorn Zoo episode 10. And this episode is the last build episode and then the zoo is finished. So, if you like a finished zoo, please leave a like on the video and maybe subscribe to the channel because another zoo is already in the works. But today we need to make a restaurant and we have a tiny little habitat next to the restaurant. So let's get work on Halethorn Zoo. I always wanted a bigger restaurant in the zoo, and it seemed like a good idea to make that as a final part of this zoo. I want to make like a buffet style restaurant that we see a lot here in Dutch zoos as well, with an open kitchen and you can order your fries, and on the other side you can get like sandwiches or drinks and stuff, and I try to emulate that in this build. The restaurant is going to have the same style as the night house we built last time, and we also need to build a lot of nature work around the restaurant, but also in other parts of the zoo. So, chill, relax, get a drink, and watch as I start building. After putting in a floor, I'm starting to detail the restaurant. I was really looking forward to make this buffet area work, and I think I did make it work. It's not perfect. I could have made it better, but I was actually on a time schedule, so it was a choice, and I think it represents nicely what it needs to represent, and that's good. I really enjoyed making what I call the salad bar. Just getting the green tops of these vegetables, make it look like a salad. Make a suggestion of plates. Well, not a suggestion, these are the plates. And use the tops of the pumpkins as pies, I guess. I don't know, I wanted to suggest some food, and again, for a fresh modern look, I went with metal and then wood in front of it, and some lights behind it. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out.
I love you. I love you.
I really like the lights behind the counters, lit up perfectly, especially because I couldn't find any lights that would go nicely on the glass. But I think this is perfect. No dust will get on that food and there. Then I tried to make a refrigerator for the bottles, like a where you get your cokes and your sodas and stuff. And I think that made for a nice build as well. Maybe I should build these on the workshop. Tell me in the comments if you like this kind of builds on the workshop. I could do it.
I love you.
And with the buffet in place, it was time to work on the restaurant itself and the way I wanted to look. And I figured out the whole logistics of the restaurant while building it.
I love you.
Yeah, getting all these tables in order. And because I had and the what you call it, shops, the table shops, and the kitchen, it was quite busy here in the restaurant. I do like that. Sometimes you build a restaurant or something and it's really dead, and this made for like a very active area, which I very much liked. Like I said, I wanted this restaurant to be in the same style of the night house. Like they were a late addition to the zoo and built in the same style. But it being a restaurant, I couldn't make all dark walls and stuff. So I tried to put in a lot of the modern glass to yeah, make it light up. I even needed to put in some barriers so that people won't go through the glass. And yeah, and just nicely walked out to look at the swans and in the lake. The lake, by the way, I already made earlier in my enthusiasm when I thought I might have been able to do it with the Night House episode, but that was a bit too much of a good thing. And yeah, I'm just using the limestone walls, trying to figure out a nice round shape for the corners, which is super annoying when you're trying to build the roof. But it does look good to not do square things in the coaster games, in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. So eventually I'm quite happy with the result. Also tried to make the terrace in a unique shape, as you can see here, a little bit of a triangle with a rounded point, just to make it look nicer. I eventually integrated with rocks to the side and integrated into the water and some plants, and the restaurant sits really nice in the zoo. I'm really happy with the results. After placing all the rocks, I put in some more of those plant squares. I have no idea what they're called. Putting in some more flowers and stuff, so you have a nice view from the terrace to the water without the fear of dropping in and without just putting in a straight fence. And I think that makes it look a bit more natural and gives a modern feel again. Trying to continue the interior of the restaurant. Again, I go with the wood and the metal to give it that fresh modern look. I'm also gonna add some planters inside and some water features just to make it a bit more cozy. After getting the shop nicer, I wanted to make some interior and I thought some plants would be suitably nice and have a little water feature in there just to, I don't know, spruce up the place a little bit. With everything in place, it was time to do a few bits on the outside and then go for that roof. And the roof was a tiresome job. But I needed to make an inner ceiling for in the restaurant with lights. And then I needed to make a outside roof to cover that up again. And with almost the roof in place, that was the restaurant done. I did some air ducting on top, as I did with every building in this zoo. And then it's time to really finish up the zoo and get all those little areas filled up with nature and some pathing here and there. And then lights and benches. I worked my way around the paths where fencing still was needed, and most of the work is on the outside where the backstaging is. Eventually I needed to do nature work there, but also there were a few houses that needed to be hidden, or keeper facilities that need to be hidden with a house, which you'll see me do in a moment.
Do you feel me too? I still run into do you feel me too? I still run into
With the weeping willows, the pond started to look really nice with a great view and some detailing there. I also needed to start the detailing on the front of the zoo, which you'll see in a moment, connecting everything up and integrating that night house we made in the last episode, because that still had bare patches around it that still need to be fixed.
do you feel me too?
Here I start work on the last backstage area of the zoo. I already did build something around the keeper hut, but this was the last. Yeah, backstage area of the zoo. I placed like a water tank and everything, and some fencing to give that zoo that finished feel that we had in episode 6. One of the last things that needed to be done was fencing on the outside, so people can't break into the zoo. I did it a little bit in big chunks, because when you're touring the zoo or in the zoo, you see these fences from a distance far away, and I didn't got in too much effort to make them really fit snugly to the roads. I didn't think that was necessary. Build what they see, so to say. Also, as promised, I finished up the elephant and the giraffe habitat, so you don't look into the keeper huts from the inside. I decided to give the elephant habitat even like a little bit of a concrete flooring, so it looked a bit more as a real stable for the elephants. And here are the finishing touches to the area around the night house, and that was about the last nature work I had to do before I could say that this zoo, Halethorn Zoo, is finished. Well, almost finished. And after placing a few trees, I still needed to do benches and light posts spread around the zoo. Also bins, so people make less of a mess. But after doing that, now definitely the zoo is finished. I was talking too early earlier, but now it is finished. And there we have Halethorn Zoo in all its glory. In 10 weeks to be built quite a nice zoo, if I do say so myself. I pushed myself to do new things, and it worked really well. So if you like that, leave a like. And next week we're gonna tour the zoo, and you're gonna get a detailed view of everything we built. And for now, there's only one thing I need to say. Bye bye!